Okay, so this is an instance when my laziness kind of backfired against me. The idea for the giant set was to start off with dips and then move on to rows and then do other stuff. What I did not really think through was the physics of doing rows with this kind of setup. Here my feet are against the pole of the structure, and that's the fulcrum of the lever. And at this angle, it's really, really tough to get some rows in. So not the best planning, but in the end, it was a pretty tough variation for the rows, so I cannot really complain. Made the exercise harder, so all the repetitions were actually at a decent intensity. I wasn't doing any strength focused exercise strictly. Everything was in the 8 to 10, maybe 12 rep range. I was kind of satisfied with how I was able to do my rows, keep my body straight. Maybe there was a bit less range of motion, but it was a pretty tough one. I definitely felt that. Dips also were alright. I was trying to keep as much body rigidity as I could. Maybe at the top, my neck was touching the back of the structure here, but when I'm looking at the form, it looks clean, and the reps felt uh, at a decent intensity range. I went into some leg raises. I just did a different variation from the day before where I was trying to keep my legs straight. Speaking of legs, my soreness is basically gone. So it took a couple of days. I thought it would be something like that because I was doing a day of snowboarding and an evening football session back to back, and I have not done these in a very long time. It is my experience that any any movement that I'm not really familiar with tends to cause some soreness, and that seems to last for between 2 and 3 days. I've had soreness for up to 4 days, and I've definitely heard of some people who are doing leg days only once a week because they say that after a leg day, they physically cannot move. They cannot even sit on the toilet for like a week. Now, that sounds to me like bad programming, but I definitely understand that after an exercise or even a session of a movement that was not really something that I'm used to, soreness is to be expected. And I fully expected that. But I think that what I was doing over the last couple of days with bodyweight squats only maybe helped flushing the metabolites and all the byproducts away from the muscle and aided recovery. This is the third and the last giant set. I did not do any walking lunges in the third one because I thought that two were actually enough. It was tough still, even though I wasn't feeling much pain in my legs. The last set of dips, I wasn't able to fully lock out on the last repetition, but both the dips and the rows were in a rep range where I could barely get the last repetition in with good technique, and the intensity was there, so I'm pretty satisfied with them. Leg raises, I went for just knees up. I was doing straight legs the day before, so just to get some variation in. It's a core and hip flexor exercise that I'm just putting in there to tie things around. And a bit of an isolation. These loo raises are nice. I was actually noticing that when I am pulling with intent and actually using my shoulders to start, I do not feel a clicking in my left one, which I was feeling in the past when I was just mindlessly doing them. Again, who would have thought that doing exercise with the intent was actually the right way to do stuff? Go figure. But no, it's good. Finishing off with some wrist work. I still feel it a bit, but I think that it's getting better. Trying to get as much blood flowing in there. It's giving me a big pump in my forearm, so maybe it's not exactly targeting that position that's annoying me, but it's definitely doing something for my wrists, and maybe I'm gonna get back to handstand soon. Ciao.